turn this. Had Daniel on stage talking about some of the things that he's done in his business, and it was definitely well received from everyone. While you're here though, Daniel, you wanna share about the event a little bit and tell everybody your thoughts?
Guys hear me well?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I mean, the event was great. It's very motivational. I think a lot of the speakers, really tackled on the mentality at first. It was good, kind of prepares you mentally. And then, we got into some of the strategies, the listings and sales. And, somebody had mentioned, it's like, in real estate, a lot of things are repetitive, but it was just kind of packaged in a new way. So it's a lot of the same things of, changing the way you think and being low getter, all these different things that you can do as a real estate agent that you hear all the time, putting priorities together, having a drive, like Cody was saying, be desperate, or Brian was saying, be intentional, stuff like that. I mean, you hear that all the time, but it's the way they kind of bring that motivation, inspiration, and kind of repackage the whole thing, makes you want to just go at it again. It makes you feel like a new agent again. You've been in the business for a couple of years. You kind of lose that drive sometimes, or you're kind of you're successful in your own mind, right? You think, oh man, I hit all my goals, but then you see other people's successes, you're inspired, and you're like, you know what, man, I got a lot to do still. But other than that, I mean, I loved it. I brought my nephews, like I said, I keep mentioning that a lot because, I'm probably the first business owner in my family legally that's legit, right? In Mexico, there's a lot of businesses, but over here, everybody works for a company for many years, looking to retire, looking for the 401k, living check by check. And so being that my nephews are the first to go to college, they live in an apartment, real nice apartment on the street. And I was just telling them, man, the entrepreneurs and stuff, they were able to experience that, and one of them was exhausted. He's like, man, you have a lot of information. Like, yes, it's like, you're physically sitting there, but your mind is like, doing push-ups, pull-ups. Your mind is just changing. I said, man, this is a real estate agent. This is a daily exercise. And in your mind, you're always thinking, how can I do this better? What can I do today? You read this book, you listen to this podcast, this YouTube video, you work with your client. So I tell them, man, hey, being an entrepreneur, it's a mental thing. And the stronger your mind is, the more successful you're going to be. So yeah, they were pretty excited. So I'm just looking forward to see if, the seed was sown and see if that turned into anything.
Awesome. Yeah, the way that it went down. So it was a 2-day event, but then we had a welcome mixer on the night before the event actually started. So I hosted it here in my office, and just had everybody out mingling and having a couple drinks and bites and stuff like that. And then on day one, I kicked us off, and then there was 3 speakers, I believe, and then we broke for lunch, and then there was a couple of more speakers. But we also had a business panel that day. So a few of the speakers, they run multi-million-dollar businesses. So one of them was
sir, I'll be right with you.
Somebody's mic is not muted. One of them was he has a alcohol business. Another one has a health and fitness business and a speaking. He's a speaking coach as well. And then another one has a multi-million-dollar real estate business. And so we had them on, and we talked business stuff. So not necessarily how to get listings and this and that, but things that all business owners deal with: money, time, all of that kind of stuff. So that was really good. And that kind of wrapped up day one. Then on day two, I opened it up with a class on building business credit and leveraging business credit to do big things. So whether it's expanding out into another business or just getting you through hard times in real estate. So building that credit profile for your business, so that way you have money at your fingertips when you need it for whatever project. I mean, building a development, buying up a neighborhood, whatever it is. So we kicked that off, and then Had a couple more speakers, broke for lunch, and then we did the power unit panel where there was a couple of power unit members on there, and they shared successes and things that have been working in their business. Closed it out. On day one, we had a VIP mastermind dinner, so that was a lot of fun. And then on day two, we had a platinum boat ride, which I still feel like I'm exhausted from. I don't know if it's just me, but I am
I'm
exhausted.
sore. I'm sore. I think all that swimming.
Yeah, so we went out on a yacht and had a good time on there. And yeah, it was a really good weekend. We had people from all over the place, Hawaii, California, Florida, New York, everywhere came in, and lots of people made great connections and had many mastermind sessions and planning sessions on really taking action in their business. So I was super excited about that. Looking forward to the next one. We're probably going to have another one around March or April, but that one will be more of a higher level, higher ticket type of event, more smaller. I'm thinking like a cabin type of deal where it's some serious high level masterminding and business planning. And then of course toward this time next year, we'll do another big event like this. But had a lot of fun. So right quick, let's go down the line and share some successes in your business from the past week, and then we will get into today's lecture. So let's start with you, Austin. Tell us how everything's going.
Oh man, last week was a great week for me, man. Not only am I growing as a real estate agent, but also a team leader. I had my agent go on a listing appointment on last week. I had went with her on a soliciting appointment. That went well and everything. We was just honest with the client and let him know that he's gonna have to, fix this property up if he wants the amount of money that he wants. And then also another one of my team members, he has a listing appointment this week, and we went over some things over the weekend that he can use to sort of secure this listing. And so I'm probably going to be going on him with that one also. Another thing I did was I took a survey with everyone on the team and asked them, on some feedback. And surprisingly, a lot of the feedback was a lot of great things. People like the support that I'm giving out. They like the structure. So I think that was pretty amazing because I'm always looking at ways to improve the team. So that was a good thing. Then also last week, I wrote up a lot of contracts. I'll say probably as a team, we probably wrote over 20 last week. Fortunately, we didn't have any get accepted, which is a little bummer. But it's a tough market here, and we're just going to keep competing with those offers.
Nice. Well, that's awesome though that y'all are keeping busy and staying active like that. Great job.
Yes.
All right, Ellis. Ellis, you there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
How you doing?
All right, I've been with your program for a while, but I just decided to start coming to the meetings now, and I'm just beginning. So just letting you know.
Welcome. We're glad to have you here. Be sure to go through the curriculum so that you get caught up on some of the strategies and tactics that we talk about.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, Ashanti. Oh, it's been a while.
I know, that's exactly what I was going to say, but I'm happy to be back. And as for me, last week was a pretty productive week. I got 2 deals under contract.
Nice.
So I'm excited about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we're happy to have you back. All right. Daniel, share success.
The weekend, or over the last week as well. Today, my buyer agent is doing 2 closings. So the one at 3 and one in the morning. I had my rental property that I had one of the lease today as well, right on time because we have this hurricane coming. So she's in there this week today. And then I have another tenant that I was working with over the weekend that went under contract as well with the lease. Other than that, think everything seems to be on track. Just got to follow up with a lot of buyers that are still pre-approved. They kind of gave up during the summer because it was so crazy. They couldn't get into a home. A lot of them kind of lost a little bit of hope, and so now that's kind of slowing down. They're messaging and saying, "Hey, I saw this house on the market, and it's been on the market for a couple of days." So I'm start calling back a few of the pre-approval letters that I had to see if they still want to start up again or not. But other than that, pretty good.
Awesome. All right, Trey,
Hey, good afternoon.
how you doing?
I'm good. Last week was really, really good. I'm about to get a house on the closing. I'm also about to put a condo, a house, and a co-op on the listing. I had met with the sellers last Friday, and they're ready to put their stuff on the listing, so that's great. And I'm working on a VA loan, real estate business, because I have a lot of military friends that aren't, they get their VA loan, but they don't know what to do with it, and they don't have any agents for that. So I'm starting that up. So that's all been in the past week, last week.
Man, you are on fire. Congratulations. Thank you. Awesome. That is so awesome. I'm happy to hear that.
Thank you.
All right, Sonia, welcome back.
Oh, thank you. It has been a summer, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm finally back. I'm kind of running the box office, which is my full-time job by myself, because I still haven't been able to hire anybody, as nobody can. But so that's kind of putting my my prospecting on, like, just pumping the brakes a little bit, because I wouldn't be able to really help people in the way that I need to. I'm not stopping, but I'm not taking on, I'm not pursuing nearly as hard as I was, but that'll change. But I do get a house under contract this last week, and then went and saw their house that they want to list, and talk to them about what they need to do to get it ready for listing. They've got a lot.
Wow. Yeah.
It's full of 20 years worth of stuff, and it smells like dogs. So
Wow.
they've got to do something. But if they do, it'll be good, and it'll go. If not, then an investor is going to scoop it up for a lower price, and it'll still go in this area. So
Right.
that's really exciting. I've got another client that I've been looking for property, just land for a while, and they've been excellent clients. I just set them up with a good MLS search, and they just favorite things and reject stuff, and I can just follow up super easy. They're perfect. And then
Nice.
so good stuff. I've got a couple that had fallen off, two different clients who had kind of fallen off during the summer because they were busy. Now they're back, working on them, pre-approved people, good to go. And then the crazies this last week, as I got fired by a client.
It happened.
we were a bad fit, but man, I learned a lot about not chasing the dollar when it's not working out with somebody.
Amen. Yeah.
This guy was a work. I showed them within 2 weeks. I did 26 showings with these people.
Wow.
I think that he thought that it was his job to find something wrong with everything. Finally, the last house that I showed him, it was exactly what he wanted. And he walked around, oh, it's fantastic, it's beautiful, I love this place. And then he asked me if anybody had violently died in that house.
Not violently died.
And I said, are you worried about paranormal activity in here?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, no, you just have to disclose it in California. I'm like, oh, you don't have to disclose it in Michigan. And so I was like, he's got to find something wrong.
Yeah.
And finally, he was mad that I couldn't tell him. I couldn't really talk to him about his the condo agreement in the way that he wanted me to read it all and then summarize it and tell him what was important. And I was like, I think you need to read this, and I'll answer any questions that you have and find the answers. But if you have real questions, you need to a lawyer because
Yeah.
I'm not a lawyer. And so he was like, I need somebody who can do that and you're fired. And so I said, okay, well, I have a contract with you and find somebody else and I'll get a referral and you can move on. Because
Yeah.
I wasn't fighting that. And I feel much better him being out of my life anyway.
Good job for you. Yeah, you know, and that's a bold step that most agents aren't willing to take. You know, they won't sever a client relationship or fire a client or, you know, but when that fit just isn't right. And if he hadn't have done it, I'm sure you would have did it because
Oh, I was
it was
getting near
just,
the end with this
yeah,
dude.
yeah. It was just at that point, but business goes on, life goes on, you know, and it's important to not get hung up on people like that because you're going to encounter them. And
Yep.
I can tell you, if this is how they were acting just during the showing process, oh my gosh, the contract to close is going to be even worse. And
Oh, yeah.
at the end of the day, that money wouldn't have even felt like it was worth it to you. So
Oh, goodness. Nope. So I learned a lot from that
Yeah.
process, not chasing it that way again.
Yep. Good job that you've been rocking and rolling though, y'all. Sonia is a great example of a part-time agent that is out there getting it, because I remember when you came into the program, you know, and you just started taking action and started doing what you had to do. And before you knew it, the first thing popped off, and then kind of that snowball effect started taking place. And now you have a full-on business going. I mean, to where a client dropping off is not a big deal. It's literally not a big deal because you have bigger fish to fry at this point. It's
Yep,
awesome.
I'm getting closer to be able to leave this full-time job that's got me tied down right now today. But it's I've got a ways to go still, but it's getting there and a lot faster than I thought it would.
See, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. All right, Bio, you available? He may not be able to talk today. All right, let's move. Oh,
Yes, I'm actually available.
okay, how you doing?
I am blessed, man. I'm doing awesome. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. What's been going on?
Oh man, how did I miss the show this weekend? I had a baby. I couldn't travel.
Oh
baby
my. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. But it really did hurt me because I was seeing the pictures and I was like, oh my, what the hell? Oh, I was going crazy for the weekend, you know, but man, man. Okay.
Next time.
I wasn't happy. Did you do a recording? Are you gonna sell the recording and stuff or no?
So yeah, we will have a recording and it'll be out soon. So
yeah, once it's out, I can pick that up. But man,
Yep.
it really did hurt me that I couldn't make it.
yeah, next time.
Yes, sir. No problem. It's good news, man. It's good news.
Yep.
I have a closing today, and I pray everything goes well. I have probably 6 on the contract right now.
Look at you.
Just
Nice.
buying.
So
I'm just focused
that's
on
nice.
buying.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm not about to go through the selling right now. So I'm like, let me just focus on the buy. So I have 6. I have a closing today. It's working. Things are going well. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
quitting my job in 2 weeks. I want to go all in.
Woo! That is amazing.
Yeah, I want to go all in. I need to devote time. I've been talking to Daniel about joining his team. He's trying to recruit me. I'm like, we're gonna talk about it once I leave my job and see how we can work together.
Yep, that's awesome.
You know, if it's possible. So hey, it's good news.
Yes, Steph.
Thank you for everything, man.
That's so good. All right, and last but not least, Sasha.
Funny that you said last but not least, because I really have the least to share. But last week was pretty unproductive. I've been on a vacation, but I have been taking your notes about ideas that you gave in about, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, with things that we could post. So just kind of working on that, but not really picking up the pace and posting on everything every day like I wanted to. But it's a new week and I'm going to start fresh.
Here's the thing with that. Start with one and get consistent with it. You know, when you at least get one out, it's an accomplishment. Okay. Next, set the goal to do it every day. All right. So now your new goal is to get one out every day. Once you accomplish that, give yourself a pat on the back because that's further than a lot of people get. Then from there,
Okay.
layer it on the next week. Now I'm going to do 2. I'm going to start out doing 2 every day. So just take those step by steps. This is going to start to form a habit, right? And granted, that social media calendar, that's the level that you want to get to. Most people do not get to that overnight. Okay. But starting, and let's just say that you get out 2 a day, right? That's more than most people do in a month. All right. So just start it and know that each time that you post, it's an accomplishment. Like, don't go to bed without you posting, right? At least just get something out. You got it.
I can commit to that. I like that. 1 this week, and well, I guess it's time for me to pump it up to 2 this week then, but okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. You got it. All right. So let's get into this week's lecture. We are about to head into the final quarter of the year. And I like to call this final quarter the social quarter, because this is during the time that a lot of social things happen. Events, charities, the holidays. We got Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and everything in between, right? And it's a very festive time for people. People start to slack off on work a bit, and they get very social, right? We spent this whole year grinding, hustling, getting deals, getting clients, putting people in homes. And now we are about to enter into that time where it's really time to celebrate. So what we're going to talk about today is leveraged events, right? And this is something that you're going to want to take notes on, because this is what you do in this time is what's going to build those first initial transactions for the first quarter. You know, a lot of people say, oh, it's December, nobody's buying, or, oh, it's the holidays, nobody's buying. And then what? It's January. Oh, it's the beginning of the year, nobody's buying. And so it's so common to see people's businesses not close anything from November till like the end of February. And that's not good. Who wants to go 4 months without getting money? None of us. Well, I know I don't. And so what we do during this time is we leverage events in order to get business. All right. A couple of event examples that, probably are going to, we're going to talk about one of them specifically, and that's the client appreciation event, which anything can be a client appreciation event. But we have holiday events. We have, October, so fall type of events, Halloween, fall, all that kind of stuff. Thanksgiving. I know a lot of you, we talked about gifting at the Power Unit Mastermind, and Carol had shared how during Thanksgiving time, she sends out something to all of her past clients, asking them what kind of pie they want. And she gives them 3 choices. And then she orders those pies and delivers it to them for Thanksgiving. All right. So that's her November gift. But we also have events. Now, this is something that last year we didn't do a lot of because, obviously, because everybody knows why, but we're at that point where people are getting back, they're getting out, people are moving, and we can have events. And so what you want to do is you want to have an event to celebrate the people who have done business with you in the last 2 years. And the first event that we are going to talk about is the client appreciation event. Our client appreciation event, every time we do one, we pull at least 30 referrals from that event. And if you do it the right way, you will do the same thing. All right. You want to use these events as not just an opportunity to party and just to say that you did it, but you want to use them as an opportunity to build your database. So this event that you're doing, yeah, it's going to cost money. Yeah, you're going to have to spend a lot of time on it, but it's going to make you a lot more money. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you all the plan for this client appreciation event. And you want to host a client appreciation event this year. Now, I recommend that you do them in that October, November timeframe. October, November. We're already halfway through September. It's going to be a little too early to get one knocked out, but October, November are going to be your great times for your client appreciation event. The first thing that you want to do is decide on a date and time. Our client appreciation events are normally in the evening. We do them from like a 6 to 8 type of deal, 6 to 9, but mostly 6 to 8. And the reason this is for that time is, for one, we choose a random date in the middle of the week. So we're not doing events on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. It's most likely going to be a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. And the reason this is because venues have cheaper rates during those days, if you even have to pay. So for instance, we like to do ours at like restaurants, and my strategy with the restaurant, yeah, there's a lot of popular restaurants out there that everybody knows, but there are some dang good restaurants that people don't know about that are nice looking on the inside. They have great food. They want to get the word out. They may be a new restaurant. Those are the restaurants, if you decide to do it there, that you want to go for. And I always look for a place with a private room. Okay, so decide on a date and time. Next is picking your venue. So with this restaurant, choosing a place that has some type of private room, right? And most restaurants have them, you know, for large parties, or if they have a private bar, that's a great place too. So with that being said, if you're coming in like the middle of the week at like, you know, 6 to 8 p.m., more than likely they're going to give you that private room for free. Or they'll give you a food and beverage minimum that you're gonna end up hitting, you know, if this is truly an event, but most times it'll be free. Have this conversation once you pick that date. You want to go ahead and get on their calendar pretty quickly. From there, you're going to send out your invites. Now, we do a couple of things for invites. We send out a Facebook invite. If you're friends with your past clients on Facebook, we send out an invite through the mail, right? Keep in mind, this is a client appreciation, so it's your past clients. You should know what their addresses are. If you don't, it's time for you to do some work on your database. But you need to know where your clients' addresses are. And you're going to send them an invitation in the mail. Here's going to be a trick with getting referrals. Let your clients know that that invitation allows them and their family and a friend or a guest. They can bring a guest for free. You want them to bring a friend with them. You want them to bring a neighbor. You want them to bring another family member. This is not only going to make your event look full, but this is going to be an opportunity for you to present your real estate business and yourself as an agent to people who don't know you. I'll tell y'all a little psychology around this. They're going to get to this event, right? Everybody at this event has worked with you. So what is everybody going to naturally be talking about? They're going to be talking about you. Oh yeah, I met Austin last year. He was our agent. He helped us find our house. Then you have all these friends of your past clients in there. Who are they hearing about? From all these people. The whole room is talking about you. It's going to make you and your team look like a superstar. And that's what you want. So always encourage people to bring people with them. Okay, from there, you want to find you some sponsors. This is the best way to come out of pocket the least. So choose from all of your past clients. If there was a lender that you've given most of your clients to, they better sponsor. If they don't sponsor this event, then y'all's relationship is on the line at that point. Okay. If you have an insurance agent who you've sent most of your business to, an inspector, whoever it is that you commonly refer people to, these are your sponsors. You shouldn't even have to look for new people who you've never worked with. All right, this is going to be great. And you let them know that, hey, such and such that you helped with their mortgage, they're going to be there. All these clients who I've referred to you, they're going to be there. So this not only is just about you, they're going to be invested too, because those are clients of theirs as well. So what you want them to sponsor is food and drinks. Food and drinks. And if you can get a third sponsor, they're going to sponsor your giveaways, and I'll talk to you about that. But most companies out there, because of how the RESPA laws work and all that kind of stuff, they most of the time can only sponsor food and drink, which is great because you're going to have this agreement with this restaurant, and I'll tell y'all how we do the drinks and stuff. You can literally give one ticket to or one receipt to the sponsor who's going to sponsor the food, and a separate one to the sponsor who's going to sponsor the drinks. Just handle it like that. Okay, I wouldn't necessarily give them a cost, because again, this is helping their business as well. They're literally at this point piggybacking off of a leverage event that you are hosting. All right, so you're going to secure your sponsor. So you have the date, you have the time, you have the venue, you have people receiving invitations. They're saying, yeah, we're going to come. Maybe we're going to come. And now you have your sponsor. Hey, we already got 20 people committed. These are 20 people you can talk to about refinancing. These are 20 people you can make sure that you are giving great customer service to because they worked with you. Sell it like that. Okay, next, it's going to be your marketing plan. Put together a marketing plan. And actually, you don't even have to put together one because I'm going to give you one. Create a flyer for the event. This is what you're going to mail out to them. Now, if you want to go the extra mile, you can get invitations, you know, the kind that fold and open, and you can handwrite them, or you can get them printed. But what we normally do is we create a flyer on Canva for free, print it, and then we put them in envelopes. Super simple. By this time, they've already received your Facebook invite. And so this is just something physical that they can have. Once you mail those invitations out, give it a couple of days, right? Give it a couple of days. I say since they're locally, it'll probably be 2 to 3 days max. And then guess what you're going to do? During your power hour, you're going to pick up the phone. So on that day that you are calling past clients, on that Thursday, you're going to pick up the phone. Hey, did you get my invitation? Yeah, we're having our client appreciation event. Can I count on you and your family to be there? That's what your Thursday call to them is going to sound like. Simple. All right. It's kind of important to get RSVPs, and I'll tell you why here shortly once we talk about gifting, because you want to make sure that you have enough gifts for everybody. So even if you have to call them back the next week, just keep mentioning the event so that way you get that RSVP list. All right. Start on that RSVP list. As people are saying yes, mark their name. You're going to be reminding people too along the way. And then from there, you're going to order your swag bags and stuff. Order your swag bags. So whatever you want to give out during the event, things that are super cheap, that go a long way. Cups, plastic cups are super cheap. Pins are super cheap. Wristbands, so those silicone wristbands are super cheap. Now, if you want to get into things like t-shirts and notebooks and those Yeti cups and all that kind of stuff, that's going to be up there. But cups, pins, silicone wristbands, you can order those like super. I mean, those wristbands, I think we had ordered 200 of them for like 20-30 bucks. So those are super cheap that you can have and give to your guests. All right, all of these things that I just gave you, you're doing at least 6 weeks prior to the event date. Okay, so at least 6 weeks prior. Now, when you are 3 weeks prior, you're going to send out a round of email invites. So they've gotten the Facebook, they've gotten the one in the mail, you've called them, and now you're going to send out email invites. And you can use one of those websites like Evite or, you know, those websites that they send invitations to, and you click on the envelope and it'll open. You can do all of that. But send them out an invite through email. And then now from here, you want to work on your event itinerary. And this is totally up to you how you want to do it. Now, I've had an event before where I've had a speaker, you know, just kind of talking something encouraging for a little while. And then I've had one where I didn't have a speaker. My route this time is I don't do it with speakers anymore. But it's important to have an itinerary, especially as you're getting into food and giveaways and playing our referral game. And I'll tell you all about that here shortly. But you want to have that itinerary. What's the earliest people can arrive? So working with the restaurant, yeah, I know our reservation is from 6 to 8. What time can we get there and set up? What time, you know, always count on people being there early, and then always count on people being there late. So you want to make sure that you have this itinerary down. What time is your doors going to open? What time do you want the restaurants to have the appetizers come out? Or is it going to be buffet style? Is the food going to be there the whole time? Or are they going to bring more as people come? Typically, how I do it is I'll have a round of appetizers there for when people get there. And then I tell the restaurant, anything that you see running low on, go ahead, just put another order in and bring it out. I don't serve full-on meals and sit-down dinners, but I do heavy appetizers. So I like to go to restaurants that actually have good appetizers and not just like chips and salsa or chips and guacamole. So if they have like skewers, little slider sandwiches on there, those are always great. People love those, you know, stuff that people can actually get full on and eat that's not just chips. Okay, so I don't do entrees. I just do heavy appetizers the whole time. So it's easy for me to tell the restaurant, hey, whenever you see a tray getting low of something, just bring out another tray of it. Work on that itinerary. Then you have this mingling time, right? Then you're going to have a time where you want to introduce your sponsors. Always introduce your sponsors. They don't have to give a big speech unless you want them to. You know, if you want to give them 2 to 3 minutes to talk about themselves, then that's fine. But introduce your sponsors. Let the people who attend know that, hey, they're helping out with this event as well. And then you also want to have your referral activities, your referral games. Then from there, put on that itinerary your closing remarks to kind of let people know that, hey, time to wrap up, time to go. I typically like to do that 15 minutes before we're set to be out of the room. All right, 1 week prior. 1 week prior to the event, send out another email blast. Send out another email blast as a reminder to either RSVP or as a reminder for the people who have RSVP. Call back your maybes. So all those people who told you maybe I'll be able to attend, I'm not quite sure yet, because you called me 6 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, call those people back and see if they can attend. Remember, we're only 1 week out now. Put together your, oh, no, not that. Order any business cards, handouts, anything in your personal inventory that you are low on. So make sure that you have enough business cards. If you have flyers or postcards for your real estate business, make sure that you have enough of those. Put in those extra orders. So that way you don't run out of business cards for your own event. Confirm with the restaurant. So by this time, you probably told them 6 weeks ago, hey, yeah, I'm going to have 60 people, you know, because you said, okay, I have 30 past clients and I each told them to bring one. I'm going to have 60 people. But now you probably have more of a solid RSVP list. Still add 10% on there, right? But call the restaurant and say, hey, it's looking like we're probably going to have around 30 people now or 40, whatever. But call them to confirm everything's good. Let them know your initial order, right? So for 6 o'clock, I want to have 1 order of this, 2 orders of that, waters out there, blah, 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 whatever. Give them that initial order so that they can have things ready for you. Okay. And then create a sign-in sheet. Create and print your sign-in sheet. Now, here's the trick with the sign-in sheet. You don't just want people to put their name, because remember, you're having guests. So you're going to have a name section, a phone number, and a who invited you. Okay, name, phone number, who invited you. You're going to see when people fill that out, your clients, they're going to put Daniel, right? But the guests are going to put your client's name. And we all should be well accustomed with how to get a sign-in sheet filled out, right? Because people come to our open houses and they fill out sign-in sheets. So you're going to get that sign-in sheet printed. Now, 3 days prior to the event, run through your list again. Make sure that you don't have any maybes. Make sure that people have either given you a solid yes or solid no. From there, you can put together your event bags. So your sponsors, they may have given you some business cards or pamphlets that they want to go into the bags, or whatever the case is. Go ahead and get those bags together based off of the number of people who you're going to be having. Okay. The day of the event, text all of your past clients who have RSVP'd and say, looking forward to seeing you tonight. Looking forward to seeing you. Show up, if you're able to the restaurant about 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes early to go ahead and get set up. Okay, so if you have a sign, if you have a retractable banner, anything like that, go ahead and get that stuff set up. Make sure the room is set up to your liking. Okay, make sure your decor, the music's good, it smells good, it's, you know, to your liking. Okay. I always recommend have a photographer there. Always have a photographer, even if it's a buddy of yours that's just going to take pictures with the iPhone. You want to be getting photos, and you don't want to be the one having to take them the whole time. Okay. And then you're going to host the event. You're going to host the event. Now, your position at the event is to stay pretty close to the door. Think about when you arrive at an event that somebody invited you to, and you're awkwardly looking around the room for the person who invited you, and it's kind of awkward, and you're standing in the corner and you don't know anybody. Your position needs to be close to the door. And by the door, I mean the entrance of y'all's section. Okay. So not the actual door of the restaurant, like a hostess, but the entrance of y'all's section, because you want to be the one that's greeting people. Now, from there, you're going to give them their event tickets, or however y'all have worked out drinks with the restaurant. So most restaurants, if you put a cap on drinks, which I normally say 2 drinks, so I'll give people two drink tickets, and I tell them to have a great time. Go in there, order drinks, have a great time. Food should be there again, but you want them to go in there and mingle with people. if you see that you have a client that's at the event and they're just alone, standing there by themselves, introduce them to somebody else. Okay, this is you being a host at this point. Introduce them, get them talking. You want people chatting in the room. You want people having a great time. Okay, we already talked about the event itinerary, right? So let's talk about the referral game. Here's the referral game that I play. I print out slips of paper that have 10 blank lines on there. And the blank lines are for name and phone number. Name and phone number. I hand these slips of paper out to everybody during the event for the referral game. Here's how you play the referral game. They have 2 minutes to write down as many names and numbers of people who could potentially, not who are, but who could potentially buy, sell, or rent within the next 12 months. Names and phone numbers. Okay. Now, this is a fun event. And I mean, this is a fun game. And I'll tell you how it typically goes down. So when it's time to have this game, everybody gets their sheet of paper. The room is kind of quiet. And then I make the announcement how the game works. Everybody, you have 2 minutes to write down as many names and numbers. Feel free to use the back if you need to. Names and phone numbers of people who could potentially buy, sell, or rent a piece of real estate within the next 12 months. Even if you don't know for certain, write it down. Or even if you know that they need to move and they just stuck, write it down. Okay, you have 2 minutes. I'm going to start the timer. I'm going to count us down and start the timer. You want to build up this whole anticipation thing, so you can draw this out a little bit. I'm going to start the timer, and when I start the timer, everybody get to writing. Who doesn't have a sheet of paper? I want to make sure everybody has a sheet of paper. Okay, she needs one. Oh, he needs one. All this is so much fun to see because they're getting excited. You see people start pulling out their phone and opening their contact book. You're like watching all of this, right? You pull out your phone, say, okay, I'm about to set the timer. All right. Now, whoever has the most names and numbers, we have 3 prizes. I have a $100 gift card. I have a $50 gift card, and I have a $25 gift card. These are American Express gift cards. You can use them anywhere. Okay. So the $100 one is going to go to whoever has the most names, then the second place, and then third place. All right, here we go. 2 minutes. Y'all ready? Yeah, we're ready. 3, 2, 1. Push the button. Everybody starts writing. Everybody starts looking. Everybody starts doing that. Okay. So let that timer go off. 2 minutes. All right, everybody stop. Pins down. Pins down. All right. So what I do is I say, okay, if you have more than one, raise your hand and keep it raised. All right. If you have more than 3, keep your hands raised. So you'll see people put, if you have more than 5, keep your hands raised. And then you keep going up and up and up until you have 3 people left. And then you say, all right, these are our 3 winners. Come up to the front. And then you ask them, how many do you have? They'll say their number. People, everybody start cheering. You ask the next person, you ask the next person. And then you just give away the gift cards. Now, what you do now, congratulations, everybody. Music starts back up. You go collect everybody's. You go collect everybody's list. All right. You have everybody's list now. Yeah, you may have these 3 people who won prizes that collectively have 20 or 30, but then you have the rest of the room who may have written down 4, 3, 5. All of those are added for you. What are you going to do after that? That brings us to after the event. You're going to call those people and you have a warm handoff, right? These are now warm leads. Hey, such and such gave me your number. And how do you know this? How do you know this? Because you have Trey's list, right, sitting in front of you, or you have Trey's guest list. Who is this lady named Maria? Oh, well, I'm gonna look on my sign-in sheet. Maria was invited by such and such, which is my past client, and she wrote down your name. Hey, this is Daniel calling from DTX Real Estate, and I'm calling because Trey or Maria gave me your phone number. They said that I should reach out to you because you could potentially want to do something with real estate. Warm lead right there. Okay. Now you have 30, 40 referrals that you're going to sift through, that you're going to go through. You're going to call people that you're going to add to your database. Oh yeah, while I got you here, what's your email address again? I'm going to send you some information about who we are and why Trey loved us. Okay, now you have this person's name, email address, and phone number. You just added with 2 hours of your time for an event that you probably didn't pay much for because you had sponsors, which honestly, y'all, I only buy the prizes. I literally only buy those gift cards. And now you have 40 more leads in your database that are not just cold leads, they're warm leads that were referred to you. Halfway B leads, B/A leads. Easy, easy for just setting up this event. Okay. Now, you also want to be real with yourself about this event. Discuss with yourself the good, the bad, the ugly. You know, what you could have did better, what went right, what you liked, what you didn't like. You're going to handwrite and mail out thank you notes to people. Thank you for attending. Hope you had a great time. Okay. You're going to also follow up with those referrals. Like I told you, follow up with those referrals. Set up meetings with them. Don't just call and say you got the information, you're ready to buy a house now. No, you're setting up a meeting to discuss their future real estate goals. Whether they are 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, you want to set up that meeting. Hey, Trey told me you were awesome. I would love to meet you. Do you have some time in your schedule within the next 2 weeks? Okay, that's that conversation you want to have with them. And then you find out their goals. Okay, don't over the phone try to close this person thinking that they're going to buy a house next week. Remember, this was a game, and per your instructions, it was within the next 12 months. All right. And then for all of your attendees, right? You've already sent the thank you notes. You've done all of that. Now they brought guests there. They brought guests there, and you have their guest information, right? You don't have their guests' addresses because you didn't do a transaction with them. But guess what? You still want to call their guests and thank them for coming. Ask them, did they have a great time? Here's where some magic is going to happen with this phone call. Oh yeah, Ashanti, I'm so glad that you called me, because the next day after I left y'all's event, one of my friends said that they were possibly thinking about moving, and I didn't really get a chance to call you back yet, but yeah, I have a friend, right? Because you're top of mind at that point. They just went to your event, right? This is that reciprocation right here. They just went to your event, ate all your food, played a game, drank your drink. They want to do something for you now, right? So you're on their radar. All of these people need to go into your database. Go into your database. They need to start getting your newsletters. They need to be added on to your power hours. They are now contacts of yours. They're no longer just a friend of Trey or a friend of Ellis. They're now a contact in your database. So everything that we teach you that you do for contacts in your database, you're now doing for these people as well. All right. This is a surefire way to get referrals, to get leads, to get new contacts. And you want to start planning this now. Start planning your first event now. But Chasten, I only closed 3-4 people this year. All right. So you tell people that they can bring 2 people. You know, or You just have an event with 10, 15 people. It's not a big deal. You want to have an event at the minimum, So it's not about how many people are going to be there. Even if you only have 5 past clients show up, y'all are going to have a lovely dinner. And that's 5 people who you can get 4 to 5 referrals from. So don't get hung up on how many people you've worked with. It's more so about hosting the event. And then guess what? You now have these photos from this event, right? Now you're going to take that and put it in your marketing. Hey, Daniel, I'm meeting with 5 other real estate agents and I'll make my decision then. Okay, yeah, you know what, Mr. Seller? I understand why you want to meet with 5 other agents, because at the end of the day, we all have the same license. We can probably all get your home sold, but I want to actually show you something that no other agent is going to show you. One thing that we do is we like to say that you are a client for life, whether it's this year, next year, whatever. And these are just some photos of our last event that we had where all of our past clients came together, which they love doing, and we just go out and have a great time. What happens at this event? People network, people make new friends. Honestly, you just moved, you're going to be moving into a new area, and we want you to meet other people. This is just one of the things that we do. We do this 3 times a year because you're not just a number with us. You're a part of our family at that point. And we want to celebrate you this year, next year, and every year after that. Right? Now it's part of your marketing. Now you're putting these pictures on your website of you and your past clients laughing, having a great time. And it's not just the sold picture with them holding the key. It's a difference. Okay, so leveraged events, you can really leverage if you do them the right way, if you really work them into your business. So I always recommend the big event toward the end of the year. Once you do this one time, it's going to get addicting. I'll tell you that. But you can do this multiple times during the year. You can apply this same framework for lunch and learns. You can apply this same framework for home buyer seminars. The same framework. What questions do y'all have? Yep. We can't.
Can you hear me? Okay. Just question on like family size for the for the restaurants. I've done kind of Christian events, but I've done them like most of them were like in the movie scenes. I ran 1 or 2 depending on RSVP. But I like the restaurant one. I always thought about it. For size of families, some of the families are really large. So how do you recommend you handle that situation on the invitations? Are they like minimum of 5, including family and 1 guest, or how do you?
No, so I don't put a limit on it. I'll tell you, most times when it's like an evening happy hour at a restaurant, what I've seen happen is people don't really bring their kids, and they'll just bring the adults, because obviously I'm putting on that flyer drinks and appetizers, and it's during happy hour time, cocktail hour time. So I really don't see a lot of kids at these events. If they're adults, I don't mind. I mean, and I'm only sending it to the house, so I'm not telling them to bring, their cousins and grandparents and all that kind of stuff. But if they're living in the house with them and I sold them a 5-bedroom house for everybody to live, then I'm appreciative of all of them as well. So I don't mind it. To be honest with you, I'd rather have more people there that can participate in my stuff and possibly send referrals than to just say, oh, only the mom and dad can come. No, I mean, bring your tios, and if y'all all live in the same house, do it, What other, you have another question? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? I don't know, so it's computer. I want to make a comment then. The framework, everything you're saying sounds very simple, but it's a lot of work. So I definitely recommend you start early doing it versus packing, just grab a restaurant real quick and invite 20 people. The reality is not, because I've done it where I do it towards the end, and it turns out the restaurant's busy, or they can't accommodate that amount of people, and then you're looking around and it becomes very stressful. So, like I said, it's straightforward, but at the same time, there's a lot of work, and you got to stay ahead of it.
Yep. And that's why I say 6 weeks ahead of time. Start 6 weeks before. You know what? Start now for your event for the end of next month or whatever. Do it.
The holidays, like for November, December, do you do like maybe 2 weeks before the main holiday, or first week of each month?
No, honestly, I try to refrain from November, December. If I do November, I'm doing it at the beginning, because you just never know with those from literally Thanksgiving until New Year's, you just never know. And so big organizations and companies start renting out restaurants. They're booked every day of the week and stuff like that. So October is a really great month. And then the very beginning, so like that first week of November, I would
October, and then maybe one more at the beginning of November if you have time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then even if at this event, start dropping hints for the next one, say, hey, this was awesome. We're going to do a walk in the park event in March, whatever. Keep people engaged and give them something to look forward to. Especially letting these guests hear this. Hey, we got another event coming up in March of next year. Hope all y'all can make it. It's going to be in the park, bring the kids, hot dogs, whatever.
Recommend a raffle? Have you ever done a raffle?
No, I haven't done the raffles because I always just do the referral games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Good stuff.
Yep.
I got a quick question.
Yep.
I know that I've seen some other realtors in the area. They did like the movie theater thing. Is that something that you recommend, or would you recommend just sticking to the restaurant?
No, yeah, you could definitely do the movie theater thing. So I've talked about that in the past, renting out a theater in the movie and getting people popcorn and drinks and letting them have a free movie. Same framework though. The framework would work exactly the same, and you would have your sponsors, you would make your announcements, all that kind of stuff. That one is going to be more of a family event. So I would recommend choosing a movie that's kind of kid friendly, so that they can have the whole family out.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions?
Should you do this with clients that you haven't worked with yet? Like clients that you haven't closed with yet?
So I personally typically reserve this for past clients. So only people who have. Now, you can do it at your discretion, depending on how close you are to closing with them. Are you sure that they're going to close, all that kind of stuff. But this specifically is a past client appreciation event. And so, but it's your event at the end of the day. So you can kind of use your discretion with that.
I understand.
Yeah. Any other questions? All right, y'all. Well, get out there, crush it this week. Let us know if you have any questions or need anything. This checklist is in the Power Unit file library. So you can go into the file vault, grab this checklist, and you can print it out and use it for your business. Let me know in the Facebook group if you have any questions about this. And I look forward to seeing y'all next week.
Thank you.